Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And first, you want to know this guy. His name is Ryan Salkis, and his handle on Twitter is at 2BitIdiot. Now, forget about if you have ever disagreed with him, because right now I want to talk about something else in regards to what he has recently said. He's a smart guy. Just a quick rundown. He is a graduate of Boston College and MIT. He was a JP Morgan analyst for a very short period of time. And then almost 2 years, he was a director at DCG, that is the Digital Currency Group. They're a big VC. And also the managing director at CoinDesk for almost 2 years, from 2016 to 2017. But in January 2018, he founded Masari, and Masari builds research tools. And yes, if you are a data scientist, please apply because he's always hiring. All right. In the past, he's been tough on Ripple. I know, mostly due to an article that he wrote last January 2019. And that is this article here, where he basically disagrees with how the market cap is calculated. He has his views, and he believes that the circulating supply is inaccurate. But this video, like I said, is not going to go into rehash the past. I want to focus on the present, because the state of Ripple and the digital asset XRP have come a long way since January 2019. And I think you can easily see that in the podcast and also the video that I'm going to highlight, he's starting to change his tune. So first, there was this podcast on Abra Money 3.0, and Ryan was the guest of the founder of Abra, Bill Barheit. Oh, I'm not sure, Bill, if that's how you say your last name. Barhit. Oh gosh, I'm not even going to try. I know it's terrible. All of us on YouTube, when we talk about people and try to attack certain names, it's just terrible. But I'm just not really sure how he pronounces his. Anyway, there was an hour-long interview, and Ryan's comments at the end of the interview really took me off guard, because Bill tried to bait him with some Ripple questions, and his answers were chilled, professional, and downright positive. He still has some reservations whether the circulating supply is encumbered or not, but he admits that the revenue model and what the company delivers are two totally different things. And Bill even goes on to mention that it's incredible how much staying power the coin XRP has had. Yeah, when we see that 99% of the token and coins and assets in this space are basically dead, it is kind of amazing. Yeah, it feels good when you know that you've picked a project that has staying power. Well, let me just say that Ryan states that Ripple, the company, has built one of the most impressive tech stacks, much closer to a market fit than 99% of the projects that are in crypto. So you can hear for yourself that Ryan sees the value in the real world use case of solving problems with the Ripple solution. All right, now jump to the Masari channel. This is a channel that only has a handful of videos, and I think over the course of the last 10 months, most videos are under 300 views. In fact, the first 15 videos don't even crack 100, but that's, yeah, even with one that he had with Pompliano, which I'm so surprised. He's still building, but there is always that building time in a channel. I went with the first 4 months of not having over 100 views, so I really know what it's like, and it's just not as easy as it looks. All right, so this particular video that he had just a day ago, yeah, it has actually probably a record amount, not a record amount of views, because there's one video that did receive 1,000 views, but it has 605 views so far. I think after highlighting it in this video, Ryan, you're going to see a big jump because your video really is amazing. So what he did is he interviewed the CEO of Bitso. This is Daniel Vogel, and Daniel has been working with Ripple for a while, and he's in that $33 billion corridor for Ripple in Mexico. And he is an ODL, on-demand liquidity exchange, and he runs that XRP XMXN liquidity pair that we always show on that index. It is really undisputable at this point that he is having spectacular growth. In fact, Daniel didn't disagree that the remittance business could even eclipse his exchange business. So I'm sure that one statement alone is going to have a lot of exchanges knocking on Ripple's door. All right, if we actually take a look at the liquidity index, you can see again, we hit another all-time high. He's really done a great job, and he cites that it is because Ripple has done a really good job building market liquidity, slow and steady. And we're starting to see some interesting flows, he said. This is coming from someone who, in the beginning, as you'll hear when you listen to this video, he was a little skeptical that Ripple's ambitious plan could actually build enough liquidity. So when Bill asked, why Ripple and why not just a stable coin? Well, Daniel explained that most stable coins just don't have liquidity. So currently, this XRP MXN trades more on the Bitso exchange now than BTC. This has happened for the last 8 weeks in a row. That is something. So the growth has been phenomenal. And one of the important pieces of information that I took away was that there are many types of businesses in addition to MoneyGram. It's just not MoneyGram that are transacting this on-demand liquidity. Now, he couldn't say who or any information, but it was clear based on what he said. He called them very large transmitter. So I don't know, your guess is as good as mine. But he felt comfortable only to really use the MoneyGram name, I think because MoneyGram is a public company, and we have learned that through the, of course, investment that Ripple has made into MoneyGram. And secondly, he said that it's not all coming from US, that there is a transacting in entity or entities. I really don't know if it's one or two, but it's non-US. That to me was very surprising. So in discussing goals, Daniel wants to reach 20% of all remittances to Mexico by the end of 2020. This is a $33 billion corridor, okay? So that means one corridor could be a $6 billion corridor by the end of the year. Now, remember, there are 20,000 plus corridors in the world. Just 30 to 50 major ones, though, are in the sights of the target for Ripple, according to Naveen Gupta, in an interview that he had a couple of weeks ago. It's been maybe a couple of months ago. Man, time flies. So you can do the math. And last week, in the last week of December, Bitso captured 2.5% of the entire remittance flows into Mexico. That's incredible. He is growing at 15 to 20% week on week. So if you are an XRP investor, you're going to enjoy this interview. Daniel takes you back to the beginning when XRP literally broke their site. There was so much demand for XRP that it broke their website in the bull run of 2017. So you should also let it be known that in regards to XRP, No, zero, absolutely nothing was sold to Bitso on a discount, and there was no cheaper access to XRP either. So there you have it. I really loved that interview. It's a little over an hour long. Mr. Kitao was interviewed in the last 24 hours by Cointelegraph Japan, and he was asked about the IPO, but no, he is not talking about the IPO. So he said he's being very careful with what he says. So yeah, they tried to get a little bit of information out, but nothing is. He loves to talk too. I am sure that it was hard for him to stay quiet. So, but they couldn't get a comment out of him. All right, everybody, we're moving that quick to the fluff. And no, I'm not talking about food again, but I just had to tell you again today, another tea product. This is the green tea from Japan called matcha. It's the powder tea that is really good for health, and it's quite bitter and strong and goes perfect with a sweet. But they have now taken this into a Frito-Lay product with matcha popcorn. I don't know. I think it's because of the Kit Kat uh, success. Everybody's trying to emulate that. All right, this is what you will see if you go to Shizuoka. There are 4 major tea regions in Japan, and this green tea is so beautiful when it is ready to be picked. And this is on the backside of Mount Fuji, what you see in the distance. If you were to draw a straight line as the crow flies, Tokyo is just on the other side of the mountain, so it gives you an idea geographically where you are in Japan. It's in the southeast region. About, gosh, how long does it take to get to Shizuoka? About an hour and a half by the bullet train Shinkansen. Yeah, I think so. Maybe a little less than an hour and a half, but it's worth seeing. Okay, so here is the fluff, really. So I think you know what a capybara is. This is the largest rodent in the world, and Japan loves them. And you'll find when you come to Japan, there are many, many, many cat cafes. That's a place where they'll have 10 to 30 cats living in a very cozy space. It's kind of set up like an apartment, and then you can hang out and sometimes drink coffee and have some really quiet time with the cats. But now they have a new cafe that is called the Kapi Neko. Neko means cat in Japanese. The Kapi Neko Cafe in Hachijoji. Hachijoji is in the it's in the west part of Tokyo, and you can go there and take a look. Now this little guy who you just saw a picture of, his name is Tawashi. Tawashi means in Japanese kind of this scrubbing brush, which is for some reason really popular here in Japan. I don't like to use them. The bristles are so tiny and close together. It seems like that once you use it, you can't clean it. So I'm not a big Tawashi fan, but this little capybara, his name is Tawashi. And you can see here that he just likes to chill with the cats on the sofa and doesn't mind having his picture taken. And yeah, not just one cat, but many cats. There are a lot of pictures on the internet. You can search for the Kapi Neko Cafe and see lots of really fun pictures of Tawashi hanging out with all the kitties. All right. Yeah, Tokyo is sometimes really funny. Do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.